Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update.
Welcome students. Today we are going to discuss prelims paper on governance and rights issues. As you know, the first 80 questions will be of rights and governance and last 20 will be of current affairs. Without wasting much time, let's get on to discussion. First question. With reference to Lok Adalat, which of the following statements is or are correct? Lok Adalat was given statutory status under Legal Services Act, Authorities Act 1987. Yeah, perfect. No issues. No court fee is required to be paid when a matter is filed in Lok Adalat. Yeah, no court fee is required. Only civil cases pending before district courts can be referred to Lok Adalat. No. Here, if you are narrowing down this option, you can come to the answer. This is a wrong statement. So, 1 and 2 are correct. A, 1 and 2 only. And criminal cases, 2 can be settled before Lok Adalats, which are of compoundable nature. Should know what is compoundable. For that, compoundable means these cases, compoundable criminal cases. Can be settled in Lok Adalats. What is compoundable? Those can be settled through compensation, that is fine. Traffic rules, these things, jumping, these are criminal cases, but through a compensation you can settle. Not to the degree of murder, those petty crimes can be settled through Lok Adalats. Let's move on to the second question. Consider the following statements about overseas citizen of India card holders, that is OCI card holders. The OCI card holder is entitled to vote in India. No. This is not a dual citizenship. First you have to keep that in mind. So, he can't vote in India. The person is eligible to hold constitutional posts such as the post of president. No. No constitutional posts. These are all available for only citizens of India. They are not citizens of India. He or she cannot acquire agricultural or plantation properties in India. This is a correct statement. So, B, 3 only. Which of the above statement? They are asking correct statement. So, go for B, 3 only. And keep in your memory that OCI have a indefinite permanent residency, but they are not citizens. Indefinite permanent residency status is there. They can reside indefinitely, but can't avail the benefits of citizens. Both OCI card holder and his or her spouse, they can enjoy residency. Third question. Which of the following statements is or are correct about the Central Information Commission? It is a high-power independent commission established by the central government under the provisions of Right to Information Act 2005. Yeah, correct. It was under this act, the Information Commission was formed. This commission consists of Chief Information Commissioner who is appointed by the President. Yeah, he is appointed by the President. No issues. Let's come to third statement. The commission has the power to examine any record under the control of public authority. Yeah, any record can be which is under the public authority. It can have its force. So, first, let's read the fourth statement. The Chief Information Commissioner is eligible for reappointment. No. This is a reappointment procedure is not available for Chief Information Commissioner. This is a wrong statement. He can stay up to the age of 65 years. But no reappointment. No reappointment. They are asking for correct statements. 1, 2 and 3 should be the correct answer. 1, 2 and 3, it's D. Fourth question. With reference to Hindu Marriage Act 1955, consider the following communities present in India. Hindus, Buddhists, Jain, Sikhs. Which of the communities above given can register their marriage under this act? You have to know the idea that there are two acts, that is Hindu Marriage Act 1955, the present question what it is discussing about, There is Special Marriage Act, 1954. And if the couples, that is husband and wife, if they belong to any of these four communities between, what to say, Hindu and Buddhist, Buddhist or Jain, Jain or Sikh, this all comes under Hindu, the division of Hindu. So these all come under Hindu. If one is of among the two couples, if one belong to this group, this all group come under Hindu Marriage Act. Among this, say this is male and female. If one belongs to this one among this group and another belong to Christian or a Muslim, then if they both get married, that is a Christian or a Muslim, if the female or a male, when they intermix, then they come under Special Marriage Act. If both the couples belong within this, it comes under Hindu Marriage Act. That is, after solemnizing, they have to go and register under this one. If both are having they follow different religion, then they have to be registered under Special Marriage Act. So now this question, all the four comes under Hindu Marriage Act. So answer is D. Let's move on to the next question. Which of the following type of urban local government body does not have a constitutional foundation? Nagar Panchayats, Cantonment Boards, Municipal Councils, Municipal Corporations. All these three come under 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. If you are seeing 74th Constitutional Amendment Act, which was into force, you can see the provisions for all the three. Cantonment Board, this doesn't come. This is done by Central Act. A central government, through an act, it can establish a Cantonment Board, which will be under the Ministry of Defense. It comes under the Ministry of Defense. And it is enforced through Central Act. Through an act of Parliament, a Cantonment Board is created. So this is the answer. Does not have constitutional, because in 74th we have provision for Nagar Panchayat, Municipal Council, Municipal Corporations, not for the Cantonment Board. Next, let's move on to the next question. In context to the Article 19, which among the following rights is guaranteed to citizens as the right to freedom? In right to freedom, you can see right to freedom of speech and expression, association or assembly, right to freely move, practice any profession. So, right to assemble peacefully. This one is seen, whereas citizenship, contest in elections, no. So, among this option comes under Article 19. So, sixth one answer is option D. Let's move on to the seventh question. Read the following statements carefully about the activities allowed under Right to Information Act 2005. The acts allow obtaining information in the form of diskettes, floppies, tapes, video cassettes, or in any other electronic mode. Under this act, the information which is under the control of any public authority is accessible. First statement is correct. Second statement is correct. The Indian judiciary system is outside the purview of right to information. No. Under the definition of public authority, even Indian judiciary comes. It is not outside. So this is a wrong statement. Though judiciary doesn't share the details as such demanded in RTI, but they come under the ambit of RTI, right to information. And moreover, even when the Chief Justice of India, Ranjan Gogoi, he told that the office of Chief Justice of India is under the ambit of RTI. But they call for independence. But as such, if they ask whether the judiciary is under the purview of RTI, yes, it's under the purview, not outside the purview. So, remove the third option. Let's see 1 and 2. If you are removing the third option, actually these two goes. Only you are left with 2. I have explained the reasons, and this statement they are straight away taken from the RTI Act bill. Straight away that act they have taken it. Let's move on to the 8th question. Consider the following fundamental rights mentioned in the Constitution of India. Protection in respect for conviction for offences. They are given the rights. What they are asking about, which of the above mentioned fundamental rights are available to both citizens and foreigners. First, try to read this one for both citizens and foreigners. Protection in respect for conviction of offences. Yeah, it is available. Article 20 is available for them. Right to elementary education. Yeah, 21A. Freedom of conscience free profession practice. Article 25. So just to try to remember all the articles. This is Article 20. This is Article 21A. And this is Article 25. Protection against arrest and detention. This is Article 22. Yeah, this is also available for them. Article 22. 22. Make it prohibition of discrimination on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth. No, this is not available. This is Article 15. Always I have said, memorize this article so you can get this answer correct. You have to remember what is available only for citizens. If you are knowing that, this you can make it correct. How? Only for citizens. What are the articles? Article 15, 16, 19, 29 and 30. These are only for Indian citizens. If you are going through that, you can come to the answer. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4. Which are option? B. Let's move on to the next question. With respect to Article 20 of the Indian Constitution, earlier, just now I have discussed Article 20 of the Indian Constitution, consider the following statements. Every person has the right to remain silent on questions which may incriminate him. Yeah, this is, you can't compel a person to be accuse himself to give a statement. So, first statement is correct. An accused cannot be compelled to produce material object or give fingerprints. No, under Article 20 Clause 3, these things are permitted. He has to give material objects or fingerprints. Regarding that brain testing, that is brain fingerprinting, there is another process called brain fingerprinting, which will be like compelling statement. So that is not allowed. Normal fingerprints or material objects which he has been using, that those things and specimen signature, these things are allowed. So second statement is a wrong statement. Which of the above statements are correct? Only first statement is correct. A, one only. Let's move on to the 10th question. Article 32 empowers the Supreme Court to issue writs in case of infringement of fundamental rights. With reference to this, which of the following statements are correct? They are asking for the correct statement. And Article 32. The general, let's read the first one. The general rule of habeas corpus is that the person who petitions for writ must be the person whose rights has been, it is not only him whose rights has been infringed. Anyone aware of the issue can also ask for a writ of habeas corpus. So, not only this must be, that's not the case. So, first statement is wrong. Read the second statement. A high court can issue mandamus to compel lower court to excise its jurisdictions when it has refused to excise it. Yeah, high court is having its power under Article 226. So, no issues. Let's go on to the third statement. Certiorari lies against an authority which is acting within its jurisdiction but has violated the principle of natural justice. The statement till here you will be clear, but when it comes for natural justice, principle of natural justice, you may have a doubt. But the issue why we are saying that principle of natural justice is being discussed here is, if this certiorari can be issued for tribunals also. Tribunals follow principle of natural justice. So, even this statement is correct. So, go for 2 and 3. Let's move on to the next question. Read the following statements about the directive principles of state policy carefully. First statement. The establishment of KVIC, Khadi and Village Industries Commission and All India Handicrafts Board provide examples to the actual implementation of provision of DPSP. Yeah, for this cottage industries, these things comes under Article 43. Remember the article also. Then the Criminal Procedure Code of 1973 has brought into effect for the provision aims, which comes for separation of judiciary from executive. That keep like 50-50. dividings. So Article 50. Easy to remember. So both the provisions come under DPSP. Let's move on to the next question. In context to National Human Rights Commission, consider the following statements. Read the first statement. It was established under the Protection of Human Rights Ordinance. First it was an ordinance, then it became an act. Yeah, it was established under the ordinance. It is a constitutional body which is a watchdog of human rights in the country. It's not a constitutional body. It's through an act, statutory body. So this is a wrong statement. So which of the above statements are not, they are asking for not correct. So second statement is the wrong statement. So go 2 only. 13th. In the famous case of Kendranath Singh versus State of Bihar, the Supreme Court upheld the constitutionality of the sedition provision contained in which of the following sections of Indian Penal Code? Section 124A. The reason why we narrow down straight to section 124A, Kedarnath Singh judgment is completely revolving around section 124A. Even in our mains discussion, we have went an elaborate discussion on Kedarnath judgment. It was saying that apart from upheld section 124A, it has given that if the speech incites violence, then you can put them behind the bars. Not simply constructive criticism. Under those aspects, don't bring section 124A. So it has upheld section 124A, but it has clearly stated that the person's speech or expression should incite some violence or riot. So it comes under section 124A. Next question. Which of the following statement is or are correct about the Finance Commission? The Parliament of India is authorized to determine by law the qualification of the members of the Finance Commission. Yeah, it has said under the Parliament fixes the qualification. It's under Article 280. The jurisdiction and functions of Finance Commission are outlined in the Constitution of India. Both jurisdiction and functions, these are also given under Article 280 of the Constitution. The members of the commission are appointed by the president. Yeah, 280. This is all 280 clause 1. So all these come under Article 280. They have introduced, they have picked up the clauses of 280 clause 1, 2 and 3, and from reverse they have arranged, and all 3 are correct statements. So option D is the correct answer. They are asking for correct answer, so be careful with that, whether it's correct or incorrect. 15th, Supreme Court verdict on K.S. Puttaswamy case was a landmark judgment along with raising law and policy issues. This case was related to which of the following? Famous judgment. Many you have to use often in your mains. It is related to right to privacy. Never even want to read anything. Just go for it. Right to privacy. Next, 16th. Read the following statements carefully. The 6th schedule of the Indian Constitution contains special provisions regarding administration of tribal areas in all northeastern states to preserve their cultural identity and customs. It's not all northeastern states. This is a wrong statement. You know AMTM, that is Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. These are the states, not all northeastern states. So first statement is wrong. Go for the second statement. The district council and regional council under the 6th schedule have the powers to make laws on certain matters of local importance. Of course, this is a perfect statement. But apart from that, they have to get the approval of governor. That is secondary. Up till here, the statement is correct. So they are asking for the correct statement. Go for 2 only. 17th. Article 14 of the Indian Constitution says that the state shall not deny any person equality before law or equal protection of law within the territory of India. Which of the following would come under equal protection of the law? The equal subjugation of all persons to ordinary law of the land administered by the ordinary law courts. Yes, perfect. Similar application of same laws to all persons under the same circumstances. Like should be treated alike, and alike, that is equal privileges. That's what they are saying about. This is also right to equality. Equal opportunities to all under the laws made by the parliament without any discrimination. That's what equal protection, that is equality before law. So all three statements, just they have taken Article 14's clauses and they have kept it here. All three statements are correct. And they are asking for correct answer. So 1, 2 and 3. As per the Supreme Court of India, which of the following are included in the freedom of speech and expression? Freedom of press, yes, freedom of press. Right against taping and telephonic conversations, yes, correct. Right against bandh called by political party or organizations, yes. See, this is political party or organization, this is not a government machinery. They are political party. This is what happened for 66, removing 66A of IT Act, Shreya Singhal case. It was a Thackeray's death funeral. There was a political bandh and political party was organizing a bandh. Regarding that, the girls were commenting on social media. That became an issue. But as such, that is not a wrong one. So all three statements are correct. Apart from that, you on media, you can't have a monopoly. Government cannot have a monopoly. These are also coming under Supreme Court's judgments on freedom of speech. So all three statements are correct. Let's move on to the 19th. Article 23 of the Constitution of India prohibits trafficking of human beings, forced labor, and other similar forms of forced labor. This is enforced by which of the following laws made by the Parliament? Minimum Wages Act 1948, Factories Act 1948, Equal Remuneration Act 1976. Select the correct answers using the code below. India prohibits trafficking in human being and forced labor and other similar forms of human beings, forced labor and other similar forms of forced labor. See, Minimum Wages Act is related to exploitation, remuneration, forced labor. So this one is correct. And Factories Act deals with regulation of ambience, whether they are having good infrastructure, good sanitization, these measures. It doesn't treat, deal with any forced labor or similar forms of forced labor or trafficking. So this is related to regulating the factory, whether it is regulating the regulation of companies or industries, infrastructure, that is basic facilities. Basic facilities are being provided. They will be going under this scrutiny. They doesn't deal with forced labor or similar forms of forced labor. So remove second statement. If you are removing second statement, you can come to the answer. Let's go on with the third. Equal remuneration. If anyone is paid below the work what he is doing, that is not paid as per the work done, that is also exploitation of labor. It comes under similar forms of forced labor. So 1 and 3 are correct. Go for option C. Let's move on to the next question. With reference to right to freedom of religion, consider the following statements. It does not include right to convert another person to one's own religion. Article 25. Correct? Read the second statement. Religious practices like sacrificing animals or human beings are also not permissible. Correct? Article 25, clause 2. Opening up of Hindu religious or any organizations or practices for social reformation. It can ban it. So second statement is correct. Let's go on to the third statement. This right is available only to the citizens of India. No, already I told you, 15, 16, 19, 29 and 30. This is not only for, so third statement is wrong. Which of the above statement is correct? 1 and 2 only. C. Let's move on to the next statement. Next question. The right to property was under a major controversy since the beginning of our constitution making. In this context, consider the following statements. Let's read one by one. First statement. It is a constitutional right. It's a constitutional right. Earlier it was a fundamental right. Now it is a constitutional right under Article 300A. Earlier it was a fundamental right under 19 clause 1 clause F. Earlier, old provisions, don't write here. 19 clause 1 clause F. Under this, it was a fundamental right. But this was removed through 44th Amendment Act of 1978. So this became, they have removed from that and kept in Article 300A as a constitutional right. So first statement is correct. Come to the second one. Supreme Court can issue writ jurisdiction for the violation of right. When Supreme Court can issue writ only for fundamental rights, when it is a constitutional right and not a fundamental right, it can't do it. So remove the second statement. It's a wrong one. The writ to property, the right to property was deleted from fundamental rights in it was deleted, but here it comes once again, 1976. I have said 1978, 44th Amendment. Remove this one. A, one only. They are asking for correct or incorrect, correct statement, so A, one only. Let's move on to the next question. Recently, the Law Ministry recommended the issue of Uniform Civil Code to the Law Commission. Which of the following statements are correct relating to Uniform Civil Code? It is a directive principle of state policy given under Article 44 of the Indian Constitution. Yeah, first statement is correct. See, Article 44, just remember like this, 4, uniformity. So, it's Uniform Civil Code. Easy to remember. Then read the second statement. Article 25 of the Constitution bar to have a Uniform Civil Code. It doesn't bar. Article 25, in Article 25, clause 2 says that, same one like that. It says, nothing in this article, that is Article 25, nothing in Article 25 can abstain a state from framing a law to regulate or in favor of machinery which is for a secular activity. If it is for secular activity, they government can frame a law. So it doesn't bar. So second statement is a wrong statement. It has been adopted from Gandhian ideology. No, these are liberal principles. So liberal intellectual principles, not a Gandhian ideology. So this is also a wrong statement. So one only. They are asking for correct answer. So A1 only. Let's move on to the next question. Read the following statements related to provisions of writs in Indian Constitution. If an RTA officer refuses to divulge ordinary official information, the aggrieved person can use writ of mandamus. Of course, they are all public authorities. If he is not doing, you can issue a writ. Next question. The writ of quo warranto can be issued if a person holds office beyond his retirement age. Yes, public office. On what basis you hold? So both the statements are correct. They are asking for correct answer. So go for C, not B, C. Move on to the next question. Which of the following are socialistic principles mentioned in Part 4 of the Indian Constitution? Right to adequate means of livelihood for all citizens. This is a socialistic principle. Equal justice and free legal aid. This is also a socialistic principle. Article 39A, I suppose. Then separation of judiciary from the executive in public services of the state. Article 50. These are liberal intellectual principles. Article 50. This is Article 39. To secure all citizens just now we saw. This is also a Article 44. This is also a liberal principle and not social justice principle, socialistic principle. So only 1 and 2 are correct. Asking for the correct statement. So 1 and 2 only. Move on to the next one. Which of the following are examples of the progress made by the government of union and states in implementing the directive principles? Establishing of All India Handicrafts Board, Small Scale Industries Board and Silk Board. All are cottage type, like self-sufficient economy. It comes under Article 43. So first statement is correct. Read the second statement. The 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Acts are implementation. Yes, of course. Article 40 says that Gandhian principle of village, that is organization of panchayats. I don't want to mention it because you can understand it. It's Article 40. That alone you remember, organizing panchayats. It comes under Article 40. As per Article 40 only, they have framed it. Select the correct answer using the code below. Both the statements are correct. So see, both 1 and 2. Let's move on to the next question. In lieu of Niti Aayog, who among the following are part of it but were not previously part of the Planning Commission? The thing is, now consider the Niti Aayog members and see who are presently there, and earlier these people were not present in the Planning Commission. Prime Minister. Prime Minister was already there in Planning Commission and even in Niti Aayog, but they are asking who is presently here but not there. So remove Prime Minister. Try to, then by that itself you can narrow down to the answer. Anyway, Chief Ministers of all the states, they were not given those preferences in Planning Commission. It was all Central Union Ministers, not all Central Union Ministers, few ministers like Finance Minister, Defense Minister were there in Planning Commission, and apart from that, bureaucrats, experts, these persons. So, Chief Minister is presently in Niti Aayog. Yeah, Lieutenant Governors will be there. Lieutenant Governors of Union Territories. So, 2 and 3 are correct. So, go for the option B. 27. In context to Savotum model of governance, consider the following statements. The Savotum framework was designed by Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances in 2006. Yes, this is a statement straight from Savotum model. The 7-step model of Savotum was made mandatory for all organizations having public interface on the recommendations of 2nd ARC. It was made mandatory for all public sector organizations. This is also a correct statement. First statement is also correct. Second is also correct. Let's read the third statement. It was established as an assessment improvement framework for public service delivery. Yeah, this is also correct. This you can use for writing mains answers. Actually, this is a mains answer. You can use these points. 2nd ARC report was giving about 7-step model. Just try to know what is the 7-step model. So all the answer is 1, 2 and 3 all are correct. But if you are knowing what is 7-step model, it will be easy for your mains. It usually, they used to say, first disseminate the information. Just to disseminate the dissemination of information to your beneficiaries. If you are knowing, first to know your beneficiary and say them that these are the services we are going to provide. If railways, we provide all these blankets or timing, schedule, food, catering, all these things. First, to disseminate the information. Then, second, set standards. Then, try to improve your capability to achieve the standards what you have said. Then, set standards, achieve capability to achieve the standards. So, improve your capability to achieve the set standards and see the set standards are equal to that international recognition like ISO, those things. So, international recognition, match it, these standards. Then, monitor the set standards, monitor, evaluate, and then upgrade the standards. These are the things. All the 7 steps will be related to how you are going to improve your organization, what the services, what you are going. Usually we stop with this quality of service. How you are going to improve your quality of service? It's all through these things. So this is quite a main aspect, but for that 7th step, when they ask, you can write it. Let's move on to the next question. 28th. The program has been launched with the objective of modernizing the post offices and making visible, tangible and noteworthy differences in the post offices operations that matter to Aam Aadmi. The project envisaged upgradation of post offices in urban and rural areas, both in terms of upgrading and enhancing the quality of services in core areas. The above description relates to which of the following projects of Government of India? See the projects. Project Pigeon. Project Pigeon is during Second World War. It is an international project related to bombing. Pigeon used for bombing. It was in vision, but didn't happen. So remove this project. Project Arrow. This is the actual project of this abbreviation, above description. Project Thunderbird. It is related to economy, that is employment and these things. This is also some international, not national level project. So remove this one. If these are extra, Project Arrow is the correct answer. I am also giving these information so you can eliminate it if somewhere else it comes in prelims. Project Sunrise is by the government only, but it is related to, it is not related to post offices. So it is related to AIDS. Project Sunrise is related to AIDS. So remove this one. So Project Arrow is the correct answer. Let's move on to 29th question. Which of the following statements are correct about notified area committees? This committee is established for the administration of an area which is either fast developing town or a town not yet developed. Both are correct. Either a fast developing town or not yet developed. Town not yet developed. First statement is correct. Read the second statement. Notified areas are constituted by an act of a state legislature with the same powers as that of municipality. Second statement, the way I am marking it wrong is, it is not by an act, it is by an executive action. There is no need of legislation for a notified area. And powers will be same. It will have the same powers of municipality, but not by an act. It is by executive action. So, second statement is wrong. All the members of the notified area committee are nominated by the state government. Yeah, it's completely executive, so they will nominate all the members. So, third statement is correct. 1 and 3 is correct. Where is 1 and 3? Asking for correct statement. Yeah, see. Let's move on to next question. In context to Wildlife Protection Act, which of the following parts of the Constitution of India contains explicit provisions related to this, that is related to wildlife protection? Fundamental rights. In fundamental rights, you won't be able to find anything related to wildlife explicitly. So remove this option. Then go for direct to principles of state policy is the second statement. Yeah, you can find in Article 48A, which is dealing about protection of wildlife. So second statement is a correct one. Go on with the third also. Fundamental duties. Fundamental duties also Article 51A. In seventh point, you can see that it is for wildlife protection. So 2 and 3 will be the answer. Asking for correct answer. So 2 and 3. With reference to Article 20 of the Indian Constitution, consider the following statements. It prohibits the state from enacting any type of ex post facto legislation. See, Article 20 prohibits not any type. Criminal offense, criminal cannot be done in ex post, that is retrospectively, but civil can be done. So, civil legislation can be implemented retrospectively. So, first statement is wrong. Read the second statement. It protects a person from being prosecuted and punished for the same offense more than once. Yes. Second statement is perfect. No, not more than once. Only once you can punish. Departmental inquiry is separate. Judiciary is separate. So, it can punish it. Third statement. The test results of polygraph and brain fingerprinting tests or testimonial compulsions are barred under this article. Yeah. Same 20 clause 3 has said that you have to you can't, the state can compel him to provide material objects, fingerprints and specimens, blood specimens and these things, but not brain fingerprinting. This is like polygraph test. You're compelling someone. So that can't be done. So this is a correct statement. So 2 and 3 are correct. 1 is wrong. They are asking for correct statement. B is the correct answer. This is also Article 20 clause 3. There is a case on this also. You can read it. With reference to Indian Constitution, consider the following statements. The property or the income of a center is exempted from all taxes imposed by the state. Yes, this is correct. Article 285, clause 1. Under that, it is correct. The corporation or companies created by central government are immune from state taxation. See, corporations and companies won't be immune. Airport authorities of India, public sector, something, these things won't be exempted from state taxation. So, second one is wrong. First one is correct. They are asking for the correct statement. So, one only. 33rd question. With reference to Citizens Charter, consider the following statements. The initiative of Citizens Charter was first articulated and implemented by United Kingdom. It was by John Major. Just know it. John Major, conservative government. He was the one in 1993 brought into Citizens Charter, the idea of Citizens Charter. So, first statement is correct. Go for the second one. Citizens Charter is legally enforceable and justiciable. No, it is not justiciable or legally enforceable. Go for the third statement. It aims to empower the citizens in relation to public service delivery. That's the idea. So third statement is correct. That's the idea of citizen charter, that 7-step model. So 1 and 3 are correct. We are asking for correct statements. In context to the term social audit, consider the following statements. In this process, the details of the resources used by the public agencies for the development of initiatives are shared directly with the people. This is the idea. First statement is correct. Go on with the second statement. Any resident who is part of Gram Sabha can participate in the process of social audit. Any resident who is part of Gram Sabha, yeah, he is allowed to participate in social audit. The Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment has formulated a scheme called, namely IMESA, scheme for the purpose of conducting social audits. Yeah, IMESA. This is by the ministry is correct, and IMESA is the scheme, Information Monitoring Evaluation of Social Audit. That is IMESA. Recently, it has been in news. These schemes, they have kept it, which was recently in news, which is an official PIB site. So because you can't go read all the 140, 160 schemes of each ministry and departments. Better whatever is there in PIB, which has been recently in news or articles, just try to remember through the questions. MG Narega Act was the first act mandated social audit in 2005. So all these 4 statements are correct. They are asking for the correct statement. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Consider the situation where India has signed the International Treaty for Prevention of Corruption. In order to implement this treaty throughout the country, which of the following process is necessary to be followed? First statement. The Parliament needs the consent of half of the states ratified through special majority in the state legislature. Nothing like that. Special majority, half of the states ratification, not needed. The Parliament needs the consent of half of the states ratified through simple majority. No, they don't need states' consent itself. This for international treaty to be implemented, they use Article 253 straight away. So they no need any state's recommendation and so on. They can form a legislation and implement. The implementation can be done through executive action. No, that's what they need, a legislation, but not executive action. They need to make a law in the Parliament. This is a wrong statement. So none of the above. 36. Consider the following statements regarding Central Vigilance Commission. It is an independent body which is only responsible to the Parliament. Nothing. There is no ministry involved in CVC. It is not straight away. It is responsible to the Parliament. So first statement is correct. Second statement. The term Central Vigilance Commissioner. The term of a Central Vigilance Commissioner is 4 years from the date on which he enters upon his office or till he attains the age of 65 years. Both are correct. 65 years and 4 years of tenure. Both are correct. They are asking for the correct statement. Go see both 1 and 2. 37. A candidate desires to get elected to a municipal council of his city. The validity of his nomination would depend upon few important conditions. Which among the following statements describe that condition? Read the first statement. He obtains permission from the management of college for contesting in the election. Nothing. There is no need for college permission, management's permission and so on. Read the second statement. He is a member of a registered political party. Need not. He can be an independent. Third, his name figures in voters list and has attained 21 years of age of the date of filing the nomination. Yeah, this has to be done. This has clearly given in Article 243. In this article, a person has to attain the age of 21. Then he can, on the date of nomination, he has to attain 21 years. Then he is eligible. Read the third statement also. He files a declaration owing allegiance to Constitution of India. Nothing. There is no oath. So, C is the correct statement. Though 4, when you are narrowing down to 4, when you know it, read the fourth statement also, because sometimes there may be, if this you find it somewhat doubt, then read both the statements once again. So, but here it is clearly stated. C is the correct answer. 38. Consider the following statements. FSSAI is a statutory body established under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. This is under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare and it is a statutory body. No doubt in this. It's a perfect answer. Next, read the second statement. It aims to establish a single reference point for all matters relating to food safety and standards. Everything, it has been like a single window. So FSSAI is dealing with single reference point. That is every aspect related to food has to come under FSSAI. So second statement is also correct. National Program for Organic Production is responsible for regulating organic food in domestic market. See, regulating organic food. Just now, second statement we have told it has a single reference point. Every matter of regulation is being done by FSSAI. Then when you say this statement is correct, then this should be a wrong statement. They are asked. The reason is NPOP is involved, but they are only a certifying mechanism. NPOP gives only organic certification. They are involved, just they will come use few tests and certify whether it is an organic product or not. Regulation will be done by FSSAI. So they are only for certifying body. So third statement is wrong. 1 and 2 are correct. 1 and 2 only. 39. Consider the following statements about decentralization of governance in India. The power to superintendents for conducting elections of the municipalities are vested in the State Election Commission. Yes, State Election Commission, it comes under the Constitutional Amendment Act. First statement is perfect. Read the second statement. The district magistrate has been empowered to decide with respect to all matters relating to or in connection with elections to the municipalities. DM has not been empowered. It is the state legislature what is empowered. State legislature can decide all matters. So it's not the DM. So second statement is wrong. They are asking for correct statement, one only. With reference to various government schemes and their objectives, consider the following pass. Schemes, objectives. Naya Severa, it aims to provide support to students appearing for exams conducted by Union Public Service Commission and State Public Service Commission. This scheme is not related to this. Go on with the second statement. Padho Pradesh. Its main objective is to provide interest subsidy to students of minority communities in India, to minorities communities. Yes, that is correct. On educational for loans for overseas. Yeah, for minority communities and educational loan for higher studies, overseas higher studies. This is a correct statement. So 2 is correct, 1 is wrong. Let's go on with the third statement if they are given third. Yeah, third. Ne Udan. It aims to provide free coaching to students, candidates belonging to minority communities for qualifying the entrance examination on technical or medical professional courses. Now, this is also a wrong statement. They have actually brought the first one here and third one to the first. They have intermixed. So these are all schemes. They have just kept it here so that it will be easy for you to get the crux of what they are coming to say. So answer is correctly matched. So 2 only. Move on to the next one. 41. In context to the use of tobacco in India, consider the following statements. India is not a party to WHO framework, World Health Organization framework convention on tobacco control. No, it is a party. India is a party. This is not. We are a party. So this is a wrong statement. India is the second largest producer and consumer of tobacco products in the world. Producer and consumer of, this is correct. Producer and consumer of tobacco products in the world. The prevalence of tobacco use is higher in rural areas compared to urban areas. This is also correct. In rural areas, the composition was around 20 to 22%, and in urban areas it was around 18 to 19. So third statement is also correct. Which of the statements given above are correct? So 2 and 3 are correct. Which of the following rights with respect to freedom of religion, Article 25, are granted by Indian Constitution? Freedom of religion. Just try to recite the article, it will come. Freedom of conscience of profess, practice and propagate. So freedom of conscience to profess, practice and propagate. Three things. And right to prohibit, right? There is no, in that statement, there is no, in that article, there is no word called right to prohibit. Remove the third one. 1, 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 4, 5. Let's see. It's an easy question. 43. In context to fundamental duties enshrined in the Indian Constitution, consider the following statements. The idea of fundamental duties inspired from the Constitution of Ireland. No. Ireland is for DPSP. Fundamental duties is by Russia. So, first statement is wrong. Read the second statement. They were incorporated in Part 4A of the Constitution by 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act 1976. They were incorporated in Part 4A of the Constitution by the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976. Yeah, that is correct. Swaran Singh Committee recommendations. So, keep that also in mind. Third one. By the 86th Constitutional Amendment Act, the fundamental duties were increased to total of 11. This duty was 6 to 14 years ward will be given education. So, both 2 and 3 are correct. They are asking for the correct statement. Go for C. 44. Read the following statements about GST Council carefully. Article 279A Clause 1 of the Constitution of India empowered the President to constitute GST Council by an order. First statement is correct. 101 Constitutional Amendment. Remember that also. Then go for the second statement. The Union Revenue Secretary acts as a ex officio secretary to the Council. Yeah, this is de facto. Union Revenue Secretary will be the ex officio secretary to the Council. So, this is also a correct statement. This is quite factual. Union Finance Minister is responsible for nominating the Vice Chairman of the GST Council. No, this is a wrong statement. The Vice Chairman among the state ministers, apart from Union Minister, in GST Council, there will be state revenue or finance minister will be part of the GST Council. Among them, they will choose who is going to be the Vice Chairman of GST Council. And even the term will be decided by the among the finance ministers, that is state finance ministers. So, both this third statement is wrong. He is not going to nominate. The ministers among themselves will choose who is the chairman and what is be his term. So, third statement is wrong. 1 and 2 are correct. They are asking for correct statements, so go for 1 and 2 only. 45. With reference to Interstate River Water Disputes Act 1956, consider the following statements. The Act empowers the central government to constitute an ad hoc tribunal independently to settle water disputes between involved states. Yeah, independently, central government can constitute. Article 262. The decision of water disputes tribunal can be challenged in the high courts. They are final and binding. So, this is a wrong statement. In 2002, an amendment to this act amended 1 year time frame to set up water dispute tribunal. 1 year is correct. This was based on Sarkaria Commission recommendations. They were saying within 1 year, you form a dispute tribunal and the tribunal has to give its decision within 3 years. Decision within 3 years. 3 years is your maximum limit. Within that, you give your decision. Within 1 year, you form a council. So, third statement is correct. Which of the statements above are correct? 1 and 3 are correct. Consider the following statements regarding District Planning Committee. The Constitution of India provides for District Planning Committee in all the states except the National Capital of Territory of Delhi. Yeah, first statement is correct. This is a correct statement. And the seats in the committee shall be filled in proportion to the ratio between the population of rural areas and the urban areas in the district. Yeah, it will be in proportion to the population only of DPC. Both the statements are correct. Choose the incorrect statements. Be careful. Both the statements are correct, but they are asking for incorrect statements. So, it should be neither 1 nor 2. This should be the answer. They are asking for incorrect, but both the statements are correct. Go for the next question. Read the following statements carefully about the protection of children from sexual offences, POCSO Act. This act identifies any individual below the age of 18 years as a child. Yeah, 18 years was its identity. First statement is correct. Read the second statement. This POCSO Act is gender neutral. Yeah, for both the genders. So, even Second statement is correct. The Act clearly defines different forms of sexual abuse, including sexual harassment and pornography. Yes. Third statement, all they have taken from that Act, they have placed it here. If you are clicking that Act, all it will come point by points. This Act comes under the Ministry of Women and Child Development. All the 4 statements are correct. Easy question. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which of the following statements is related to periodic labor force survey? SRR correct. Read the statement. It is published by the National Statistical Office. Yes, correct. Under the Ministry of Labor. See, NSO is correct. Yeah, up to here it is correct. It is not by Ministry of Labor and Employment. Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Just by reading the first line, don't immediately jump. Read the second, they have made it mistake here. It is under Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. So first statement is wrong. Go for the second statement. The activity status report submitted by National Statistical Office on current weekly status is for, it is for urban areas only. This is the correct statement. Labor force participation rate is defined as the percentage of employed persons in the population. No, this is worker participation rate. Labor force participation rate is different. It deals with how many among the workforce, those who are seeking work and those who are employed. Both will be in labor force participation. Who are employed comes under work participation rate. This is WPR. So third statement is wrong. 2 only is the correct answer. They are asking for correct. Yeah. The government of India has recently launched the Nipun Bharat mission. This mission is related to which of the following? Foundational literacy, eradication of tuberculosis, a submission of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Bharat Mala program. It is related to foundational literacy. This is proficiency and national on proficiency, numeracy and proficiency. These things, Nipun Bharat mission was described. So it is related to foundational literacy, not on these aspects. In context to the National Crime Records Bureau, which of the following statements are not correct? The Bureau informs about a drop in traditional crimes like theft, robbery and assault on women and children in 2020. Statement is correct. There was increase in crimes. Crime rate has increased, but not traditional. There was a drop in, that was the contradictory. Drop in traditional crimes is correct. Theft, robbery, because everyone was sitting inside the home. These fellows can't enter. So that crime got raised. Some who, that is a traffic excess, that jumping of COVID, breaking the COVID rules, for those things cases raised, but not due to traditional crimes. So first statement is correct. Read the second one. This organization was instituted based on the recommendations of Tandon Committee. Though this is pure fact, yeah, the committee, Tandon Committee only recommended for NCRB. So first statement is correct. Second statement is correct. According to its 2020 report, Uttar Pradesh has registered highest rate of crime against women. That's wrong. It is not Uttar Pradesh. It was Assam. Recently, the report was released, so they have taken based on that context, they have taken the question. So, third statement is wrong. NCRB is headquartered in New Delhi and is part of Ministry of Home Affairs. Yeah, this is correct. So, 1, 2 and 3 are correct, but they are asking for not correct. Be careful. They will give the option for that side also. So, option is 3 only. Here they have not given, but if they are given, you will be jumping into that. Be careful. 51. With reference to various programs launched by the state and central government, consider the following statements. Program and schemes. SAT. It aims to provide equality residential education in reputed private schools for the scheduled caste students. This is not related to SAT. SAT is related to some Jammu and Kashmir government's project. Yeah, Rural Enterprise Acceleration Program for women associated with self-help group. This is related to this one. Shrestha Yojana. This is on Dr. Ambedkar's birthday. Residential education in reputed private schools. This is related to this. Both are incorrectly matched, but they are asking for correct or what? Correctly matched. Neither one nor two. See whether correctly, incorrectly, because you may be plotting there correctly, but while shading, you will, in a hurry-burry, you may make a mistake. Grave mistakes. Never make grave mistakes, despite knowing all the facts. 52. With reference to Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2006, consider the following statements. First statement. It extends to the whole of India except the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Correct? It doesn't extend to J&K. Read the second statement. The offences under this act are cognizable and non-bailable. This is also a correct statement. Cognizable and without warrant they can arrest. That is cognizable. Under the section 9 of this act, a female adult is punished for marrying a male child. No. This under section 9, it has clearly stated that if a female adult married a woman or a divorced woman or female adult, if she is marrying a child, she can't be punished under this act. Whereas male is marrying a minor child, then he will be behind the bars. So here, we can say that man empowerment is needed. For here in this aspect, female is having a liberal aspect. But though in the debate, they were saying that even if female adult women is marrying a child, it is due to family compulsion. That's why we have not put women behind the vice versa. We have made only in one dimension. So third statement is wrong. 1 and 2. Which of the following statements defines the characteristics of gaming disorder as per the World Health Organization? Prioritizing gaming over other interests and activities. This is a disorder. Though you feel hungry, you keep on playing without going and eating or other immediate acts. What body compulsion is needed, you will be feeling sleepy, but without letting you to sleep, you will be continuing the game. That is against interest and activities, you are prioritizing gaming. That is a gaming disorder. Lack of control over gaming habits. Lack of control over gaming habits. That is going on playing game. These days it has come that you are purchasing equipments in the gaming. You pay from your wallet and you have purchased for just gaming aspects. So you are lacking control over your own personal habits. If an individual spends more than 7 hours continuously or cumulatively out of 24 hours in playing, as per WHO guidelines, they have never given any time duration. These two have been given. So remove the third statement. Automatically you will be there to the answer. 1 and 2 only. 54. In context to PM Mitra's Park, consider the following statement. It was related to textile. So it envisages to help India in achieving United Nations Sustainable Development SDG 5. It's related to promotion of industrial development and resources. So textile. So SDG 9 is correct. PM Mitra has been launched by Ministry of Textiles, as I told. So second statement automatically becomes correct. So this was a PIB issue. PM Mitra Park will be developed by special purpose vehicle owned by the state government and government of India. Yeah, it is going to be handled by a special purpose vehicle. So all the three statements are correct. So answer should be D. Which of the following are observed as conditions for availing economically weaker sections reservation benefits in public employment and educational institutions? EWS category. Persons with annual income below rupees 8 lakh and who are not covered under the scheme of reservation of SC, STs and OBCs. 8 lakh and who have not availed any reservation status on these aspects. Yeah, first statement is correct. Your family should not own or possess an agricultural land of size 5 acres or above. Second statement is also correct. Your family should not own or possess residential plot of area 200 square yards or more in India. More in India, not more in notified municipalities. More in notified municipalities. So first and second statement is correct. Third statement is wrong. 1 and 2 only. The act was enacted to curb, read the 56th, the act was enacted to curb crimes against women and children. It introduced death penalty for offences such as causing grievous hurt by use of acid, rape and gang rape. The act reduces the time for completion of investigation, trial and disposal. Trial, investigation, trial and disposal and appeal for offences committed against women and children. Places the onus on social media platforms and internet data providing companies to share the data for the police investigation. This is a special aspect. You can see even the internet data providing organization and social media platforms have to devolve all the details regarding the aspects. The above description relates to which of the following acts? Shakti Criminals Act, Criminal Laws, Maharashtra Amendment Act 2020, Disha Act, Maharashtra Organized Crime Act, POCSO Act. It is related to Shakti Criminals Act. Though Disha Act relates similarly, it sounds like Disha Act, but this aspect, internet data and social media companies are bound to share the data. This makes it special. It comes to Shakti Criminal Laws. So, go with the next question. 57th question. With reference to Central Adoption Resource Authority, which of the following statements are correct? It is a statutory body authorized to regulate and monitor inter-country and intra-country adoptions. Yeah, inter-country and intra-country. For both, CARA is the body. So, it's a statutory body. Both the first statement is perfect. It carries out adoptions according to the provisions of Hague Convention. This is also correct statement as per Hague Convention. This organization works under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. It doesn't work under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. It's Ministry of Women and Child Development. So, third statement is wrong. Remove it. Read the fourth statement. Understand this. Under this, a single female is eligible to adopt a male or a female child, but a single male is not eligible to adopt a female child. This is a perfect statement. Female is allowed to adopt both a male and female, but whereas a male is allowed to adopt only a male child. So, third statement is wrong. So, 1, 2 and 4. Option is D. They are asking for the correct statements. Let's move on to the next question. 58. In context to the Child Labour Prohibition and Regulation Amendment Act 2016, consider the following statements. It provides for complete prohibition of work or employment of children below 14 years of age in any occupation. Complete prohibition, correct. 14 years, correct, in any occupation. This is also correct. First statement is correct. Read with the second statements. The Act has made the offence as cognizable and provides for stricter punishments for employers in case of its violations. Yes, the Act has been cognizable. It's a cognizable offence. So, this is correct. Third, an online portal named Pencil has been initiated for the effective implementation of this Act. This is also a recent PIB notice because 2-3 years you would have followed, and even they have once again initiated the scheme on this. So, all three statements are correct. There is no any difficulty in this question. Easy question. So, let's move on to 59th question. Which of the following statements is not correct about palliative care? India has a centrally sponsored national program for palliative care as an integral part of healthcare at all levels. Correct? The program is part of Mission Flexi Pool of National Health Mission. Yes, correct. The presently Kerala is the only state implement a palliative care policy in India. No, many states have started palliative care. So, this is a wrong statement. Palliative care is meant to enhance the person's current care by focusing on quality of life for the patient and his family. Yes, this is also correct. So, three statements are correct. Remove C, but they are asking for not correct. So, this is the not correct statement. Then make this one. This is the C is the answer. Just a So, C is the wrong statement because it's not only state, other states are also enforcing palliative care. Know what is palliative care? There is two different cares, palliative and hospice. When they know that a person is in a very vulnerable state, that is very extreme state of any particular disease, but there is a chance of getting it cured by treatment. This palliative care is just a care which is given to advanced treatment with comfort in his personal experience for him, in comfort mind wise, relaxation wise. And the family, why they are mentioned here about families, they can't see their loved ones suffering when it is by another nursery mid housewives, like nurses, when they are assisting that person, those pains, he can the near and dear ones, when they see their loved ones being suffered, it is very tough. So in palliative care, a person comes, there is a nurse or someone comes and they take care of this one. There is another care called hospice care. That is not part of the question, but hospice care is, they know that particular person is going to be he's going to die within maximum 6 months or a year, he is going to die. In that case, they call it hospice care. That is also same like that, but in palliative care, there is a high chance of him being recovered. But in hospice care, it will be clearly said that the person is going to be dead by 6 months or a year. Now, presently, it's not the only state. Many states are following. It's part of Mission Flexipool. National program is there, and it is that is a relief for the family to see that suffering. So that's why all the 3 statements are correct and third statement is wrong. Go for the next question. In context to various schemes and their provisions, consider the following pass. Schemes, provisions. PM Savinidhi. This is during COVID-19. The scheme was there. PM Savinidhi. It is regarding loan to the street vendors. 10,000 rupees loan. It has been launched by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs and Socio-Economic Upliftment of Street Vendors. But nothing, loan has not been mentioned here. So read the second statement. This is not the correct pair. Main by Digital 3.0. This is also related to street vendor only. It is a special campaign for digital onboarding and training for street vendors. Yeah, digital onboarding. That is, even they are making that street vendor to be tech savvy, in the sense that you can find these days, even the street vending people, there will be Bharat Pay and these mechanisms, you can visit it. You can do an online payment even from in the street vendor. These are all due to this main by digital program. So what will be the third statement? PM Savinidhi C Samriddhi. Savinidhi C Samriddhi. It is a central sector scheme to facilitate street vendors to access affordable working capital loan. This is related to Savinidhi. So the third this statement is related to the first question, and this one is related to first. So they are intermixed. They are asking for correctly matched. Only 2 is correctly matched. And basically, this scheme, whoever has availed a loan under Savinidhi scheme, PM Savinidhi, the 10,000 rupees, whoever has availed a loan, their family members will be getting Savinidhi C Samriddhi scheme. What this scheme does, other schemes like free LPG, Saubhagya scheme or Jan Dhan Yojana, whatever government schemes for the National Food Security Act, whether the persons of street vending family, that is street vendors family, does they need these schemes, whether they have been enrolled into that. If they have not, they will try to enroll. So that is for capital loan, and this is for enrolling to other government schemes. Government will itself go and check it and give them. So both are intermixed. So only 2 is correct. So go for next question. With reference to Atmanirbhar Hatshilpkar scheme, read the following statements carefully. The objective of this scheme is to develop petty artisans of the northeastern region by providing financial assistance for income generating activities. Yeah, it's for northeastern region, for income generating activities. It's like a capital giving finance. So first statement is correct. The credit facility, that is a collateral free and carries a subsidized interest of 6% of annum. They don't want to vouch something. It's a collateral free. So even second statement is correct. So both the statements are correct. They are asking for the correct statement. So go for C, both 1 and 2. 62. Which of the following statements are correct about Whistleblowers Protection Act 2014? According to this act, all the public sector firms are mandated to have whistleblower policy. Perfect. This is a clear-cut statement that it has mandated all the PSUs to have whistleblowers policy. The act permits disclosures that are prohibited under the Official Secrets Acts of 1923, enhancing transparency. Even the informations which can't be shared by OSA, they say that OSA, we are protecting few information, we are preventing these what are protected under OSA can't be disclosed. But under whistleblowers policy, even that can be disclosed. So both the statements are correct. Let's move on to the next question. Which of the following are the affirmative actions taken by the Government of India for the disabled individuals? The Right to Persons with Disabilities Act 2016 provides for 4% reservation in government jobs for persons with disabilities. This is correct. 4% for government jobs. Perfect. Read the second statement. Sugamaya Bharat Abhiyan was launched to provide loans to persons with disabilities for the procurement of aids like wheelchairs and hearing kits, etc. It doesn't have any provision like loans. They are for accessibility, like making them affordable. Ramps in public spaces, public buildings, infrastructures, and vehicles of transport, modes of transport, a special arrangement for them to climb and sit. And these are the things. So it doesn't deal with loans. Second statement is wrong. A unique disability identity card project with the objective of to create a national database for the persons with disabilities is being implemented by the government. Yeah, unique disability identity card. This is one of the feature. So 1 and 3 are correct. Select the correct answer using the codes given below, 1 and 3. So option is C. Go on for the next one. In context to Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005, which of the following statements are correct? The maintenance of law and order, protection of life and property of citizens is primary responsibility of the state governments. Yeah, law and order comes under primary responsibility comes under state government. First statement is correct. Go for second one. The term domestic violence was defined for the first time by this act. Yeah, first time protection of women from domestic violence was defined in this act. This is a correct statement. Go for the third one. This law only protects the women involved in husband and wife relationship from violence. No, not only husband and wife relationship. Even live-in relation without having a solemnized marriage, live-in relation couples also, if there is any abuse, they can also use Domestic Violence Act. So it is not for married, solemnized marriage alone. So 1 and 2 are correct. 3 is wrong. They are asking for the correct statement. So 1 and 2 only. Consider the following statements about asylum seeker. Yes. A person who have fled war, violence, conflict or persecution and have crossed an international border to find safety in another country. This is not for a person who has fled on these aspects and crossed the international border to find safety. This is for refugee. So not first statement is wrong. Read the second statement. An individual who is seeking an international protection and whose claim has not yet been finally decided on by the country. This is for refugee. So they have intermixed the statement, and even this is not for asylum seeker. So both the statements are wrong. And read the third statement. Every asylum seeker is a refugee, whereas every refugee is not an asylum seeker. They have again intermixed both. All the three statements, they have intermixed between asylum seeker and a refugee. So all three statements are wrong, and they are also asking for not correct. So 1, 2 and 3. Every asylum seeker is a refugee. No, refugee, it's a vice versa. So all three statements are correct, not correct. So D 1, 2 and 3. Question number 66. In context of Surrogacy Regulation Act 2021, consider the following statements. It provides for constitution of surrogacy boards at the national level as well as at the state level to ensure effective regulation of this act. Perfect. First statement is correct. Both at national and state level, there will be boards formed for surrogacy. The act gives permission for commercial surrogacy on the lines of altruistic surrogacy. No, this is a wrong statement. Commercial surrogacy was banned under the act. Only altruistic surrogacy is allowed. So second statement is wrong. Read the third statement. A surrogate should be a married lady. Yes, correct. And can surrogate only twice. No, only once. Only once. So third statement is also wrong. They are asking for correct answer. So A, one only. 67th question. The Pradhana Mantri Dakshata or Kushtala Sampan Hitgarhi. PM Daksh. See, I'm not good in pronouncing Hindi, so try to bear with me. Sorry for that. Yojana is being implemented by the Ministry of I'll call it PM Daksh is being implemented by the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment from the year 2020-2021. This scheme is related to which of the following? To make at least one family member digitally literate? No, not the first statement. To carry out skill development training program. This is the in self-help groups and other women-related groups and a rural livelihood program and digital skilling. Everything comes under PM Daksh. They are trying to improvise the skill development. It is all related to skill development, and it is a health benefit. No, and it you don't need to study these two. It's related to skill development. It aims to provide. So answer is B. Let's move on to the next question. Which of the following statements is not correct about the term migrant and the developments related to migrants? There is no universal and legal definition for a migrant. Yes, migrants doesn't have any universal definition. United Nations Human Rights Commission and Global Migration Group submits World Migration Report. This is a wrong statement. International Organization for Migration. This organization submits World Migration Report. It's not UNHCR or Global Migration. Second is a wrong statement. B is wrong. The Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights describes an international migrant as any person who is outside the state of which they are citizen or a national. Correct. And read the fourth one, D option. India is a signatory to member of to the agreements of New York Declaration under refugee and migrants. Yeah. So second statement they are asking for not correct. So second is the option. So option B is the answer. And try to remember two facts here. New York Declaration. They can ask like this also. New York Declaration is related to what? Migrants, refugees, asylum seeker, like that. You know what is for New York Declaration and whether we have been a signatory. Just this fact you keep it remembering. Let's move on to the next question. Sixth, consider the following pairs about various government schemes and their respective objectives. Government schemes, objectives. Sukanya Samruddhini Yojana. You know, it is for deposit scheme for women. It was launched by Haryana government to break the stigma relating to birth of a child. No, it is throughout India it was launched. It is not related to Haryana government. Vigyan Jyoti scheme to support girls in financially and vulnerable sections of society and ensure enrollment and retention of girl child in primary and secondary schools. No, this is also incorrectly paired. Let's read the third statement. Balika Samriddhi Yojana to create a level playing field for the national meritorious girl in high school to pursue science, technology, engineering and mathematics in their higher education, STEM education. That is, this is related to the earlier scheme and this is related to that one. They are crossly matched. So this is also incorrectly matched. Ludley scheme. It is a small deposit scheme for girl child and launched as part of Beti Bachao Beti Padhao. This is Sukanya Samruddhini. So all the four statements are incorrectly paired. This is correct related to 4. So 1 will be related to this one, 4 will be related to 1 and 2 and 3 are intermixed. All are incorrectly paired. And what they have asked, correctly paired or incorrectly paired? Which of the above are not correctly paired? All are not correctly paired. 1, 2, 3, 4. With reference to National Council for Senior Citizens, consider the following statements. It was created in pursuance of the National Policy for Older Persons, 1999. Under this only it was formed. So first one statement is correct. It was factual, but it was there in news. It was constituted to advise central and state governments on the issue related to welfare of senior citizens. Yes, because during the time of COVID, there were COVID and even present times, many these days they have left their parents, then they have resettled in abroad. And there were many issues regarding robbery and death was, they were killed for money and these bases, old people. So on these aspects, there was a issue on this. So they have framed the question on that aspect. So both the statements are correct. They are asking for the correct statement. So see both 1 and 2. In context to initiatives taken by the government to address the problems associated with transgenders, consider the following statements. Transgender applicant can obtain certificate of identity without any physical interface through National Portal for Transgender. See, to obtain a certificate, they don't need to physically be present. For that, this portal enables it. First statement is correct. Certificate of identity without any physical interface. Correct. Without being physically present before the body. The Transgender Persons Protection of Rights Act 2019 created National Council for Transgender Persons that has 5 representatives of transgender community. From both state and union territory, there will be 5 transgenders in that national body along with other ex officio members. So this is correct statement. 2 is also correct. Read the third one. The Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment is implementing a pension scheme under National Social Assistance Program for Transgenders. See, under NSAP, there is a pension scheme, but it is not by Ministry of Social Justice. This is wrong. It is by Ministry of Rural Development. Ministry of Rural Development under NSAP gives pension for transgenders. So, third statement is wrong. Correct statements 1 and 2 only. A. They are asking 1 and 2 only. With reference to AISHI report that was launched recently, which of the following statements is not correct? It is an annual web-based survey conducted by the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. It's not by Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. It is by Ministry of Education, that is Human Resource. So now presently name has changed. So it is not by Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. This is a wrong statement. It is a central sector scheme. Yes, it is a central sector scheme. These things keep noting. Though first statement is we have narrowed down to the answer, not correct. So first statement is not correct. A is the answer. But just to note other facts also. It is a central sector scheme. HEPSIS is under this. The survey is based on voluntary uploading. This is a fact. The institution of higher education that participates in the survey categorized into universities, colleges and standalone institutions. Yeah, all these things. So all are correct except this one. This is the wrong statement. They are asking for not. So A is the answer. For your clarity, this is the answer as they are asking not correct. It's not under Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. Okay, then we'll move to the next question. Other facts keep remembering: voluntary, central sector, and for all universities, standalone institution, everything. 73. Which of the following statements about Armed Forces Special Powers Act 1958 are correct? It grants special power to Indian Armed Forces, Central Armed Police Forces and State Police Forces to maintain public order in regions declared as disturbed areas. Correct? But CAPF and Indian Armed Forces and CAPF is correct, but not to the State Police Forces. Only for these two, Central Forces, not for State Police Force. So first statement is wrong. The AFSPA gives unfettered power to the armed forces in disturbed areas to kill anyone acting in contravention with law and arrest. See, to kill anyone. So this has been an issue, though this is correct. This is the correct statement. So they are asking for the correct statement, 2 only. This is what there have been many cases related to extrajudicial killing, and these issues have been focused, and it is in mains debate. So, but the statement as such, it is correct. They have right to kill anyone. So answer is B only. 74. In context to Nirbhaya Fund, consider the following statements. It is after 2012 Nirbhaya incident, this fund was created, and just we will see the provisions of this fund. It is a non-lapsable corpus fund of 1,000 crores. Yeah, data is correct. Usually UPSC plays with data. 1,000 crores, 10,000 crores. So it's 1,000 crores that has been contributed by the government of India. First statement is correct. The Ministry of Women and Child Development is responsible for the administration of the fund. See, administration of the fund, it is Department of Economic Affairs under Ministry of Finance. Ministry of Women and Child Development is the nodal agency. This is related to nodal agency. And administration is under Ministry of Finance. So second statement is wrong. One-stop centers scheme is implemented across the country under this fund. Yeah, one-stop center is under this scheme. So second statement is wrong. 1 and 3 are correct. They are asking for the correct statement. Go for option B. Which of the following are related to the act of begging is or are correct? The term begging as per the Indian law is defined as soliciting or receiving alms in public places by exposing wounds and injury. It has been defined, clearly defined. So first statement is correct. Smile scheme has been launched by Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment for the rehabilitation of persons engaged in act of begging. This is also correct. Smile scheme is for related to begging, for rehabilitation of people who are involved in act of begging. So both the statements are correct. Just they have tried to keep all the schemes in the question itself so that you don't have to memorize all the schemes by reading which ministry, which scheme and related to what. Just make underline and make note of that so it will be easy. Don't want to UPSC never, it's not never, maximum they won't ask all the provisions. It won't be easy to remember. At least by knowing scheme is related to what and to which ministry, you can eliminate and come to the answer. So here both 1 and 2. The term Pragyata guidelines, it was recently in news. These guidelines are related to which of the following? It is related to online learning. Election Commission reforms, no. Online learning, unmanned aerial vehicles, it is not related to that. Online and digital education, yeah, this is the correct answer. Not related to judicial reform. So C is the correct answer. Let's move on to the next question. Consider the following pairs about various government schemes and its objectives. Vidya Pravesh. It is an assessment program for CBSE students to assess the progress of foundational skills and basic learning outcomes. It is not related to, Vidya Pravesh is not related to assessment. Fulfil, it is a preschool preparation program for class 1 student. This is related to Vidya Pradesh. See, in this Fulfil, A comes for school assessment. So, you relate this one. So, this is for assessment and Vidya Pravesh is for preschool students. So, 1 and 2 are incorrectly matched. Third one, Nishita 2.2. It aims to provide training to teachers as per the needs and they will be able to give their suggestions. Yeah, it was even said that it is one of the best programs for the world by our government, but it is launched in such a way. So, yeah, this is also a correct statement. So, they are asking for correct 3 only. C. 78. With reference to Juvenile Justice Care and Protection of Children Amendment Bill 2021, consider the following statements. Under this Act, the District Magistrate has been empowered to independently evaluate the functioning of District Child Protection Units. Yeah, presently they have said that District Magistrate can independently evaluate, not with the team of the Tahsildars and Subdivisional and Chief Educational Officer, nothing like that. They can independently go for inspection. So, 1 is correct. The eligibility of parameters for the appointment of child welfare committees members have been defined for the first time. It is not for the first time, already it was there, but they have redefined it to make, some sort of responsibility. The persons who are in child welfare committees have to have some experience in related to child health or their education or in juvenile aspects. So, everything, those members don't favor whomever supports a particular party or something. So, they have redefined their criteria, not for the first time. Already it was there, now they are redefining it to make it more responsible. The offences where no minimum sentence has been prescribed shall be treated as serious offences within this Act. See, more petty, serious and heinous. There were 3 aspects: petty crimes, serious crimes and heinous crimes. More than 7 years, try to make it under heinous, but less than 7 years, but the term as such, nothing has been given. It has been given less than 7 years, but no duration. It may be 3 year, 4 year, 6 year, like that. Bring them under serious nature, like that it was taken by themselves. So, even third statement is correct. If it is going above 7 years, heinous. So, 1 and 3 are correct. They are asking for the correct statements. So, 1 and 3 only. Which of the following statements are correct about Dowry Prohibition Act 1961? The act prohibits and penalizes both giving or taking of dowry, so as to safeguard women against dowry harassment. Both giving and taking. If you give also, take also, you will be behind the bars. So first statement is correct. This act defines dowry harassment within the purview of domestic violence and provides remedies against the act. It is not this act defines under domestic violence, dowry harassment has come, but it's not this act, it is Domestic Violence Act. This act says it is defines what is dowry harassment and so on, but doesn't bring it under domestic violence. This is Domestic Violence Act, which has brought under dowry harassment under domestic violence. So second statement is wrong. One only correct statement. Keep in mind, Dowry Prohibition Act is different. Domestic Violence Act is different. This comes for, it's a wider range. This is related to dowry alone. This is comes for sexual harassment, verbal harassment, emotional harassment. Under that Domestic Violence Act, dowry harassment as was kept under domestic violence. So this is different. Consider the following statement regarding Ujjwala scheme. This scheme was launched to put an end to the practice of trafficking of children and women in India. Usually you would have thought Ujjwala is related to another aspect now. That you have to know what is the difference between PM Ujjwala and Ujjwala scheme. Ujjwala scheme is related to trafficking in women in India. So it was related to trafficking. So first statement is correct. The scheme is administered by the Ministry of Women and Child Development. This is also correct. It's by Ministry Child Development, Ministry of Women and Child Development. It provides assistance for rescue, prevention, rehabilitation, and repatriation of the victims. All the three statements are correct here. Know the difference between Ujjwala and PM Ujjwala. That is different. This is different. So which of the statements are correct? All the three statements are correct. 81. See, still now we have completed the rights and rights issues and governance aspect. Now we are moving into current affairs, which has been in news. Consider the following statements about sunrise industry. It is a new business or business sector showing the potential for substantial and rapid growth. Correct? This is a correct definition of sunrise. The rapid emergence of sunrise. Example, you think hydrogen fuel economy or space tourism. These things come under new business sector where there is a huge scope for development. The rapid emergence of sunrise industry threatens the growth of competing industry known as sunset industry. This is also correct. If something here booms up, it will automatically suppress. If example, when cassettes were coming into picture, when CD, compact disc was in uprise, cassettes were going out of the scene. When pen drive came, CD went out of the scheme. So like that, when there is a rapid emergence of sunrise industry, threatens the growth of competing industry known as sunset. Sunset is when you are reaching a saturation region. When CD saturates, but a new invention called pen drive came and this one went down. That's why when you reach something, that is saturation. When something is rising or booming, that is called sunrise industry. So even second statement is correct. Fisheries, telecom sector, healthcare, information technology, and aviation are examples of the sunrise industries. No, this is not the thing. Now, aviation is, we know from the Wright brothers' time. Now, space tourism, that can be an, advancement. So, this is not correct examples. So, 1 and 2 is the correct answer. They are asking for correct answer, 1 and 2 only. In the budget presented for 2022-2023, the government announced the introduction of India's central bank digital currency. With reference to this, consider the following statements. It was continuously in the news. That's why they have taken this. It is a digital token of a country's official currency. Central bank digital currency. Perfect statement. No confusion here. It will be issued by the Reserve Bank of India. That is central bank. So, second statement is correct. The first CBDC in the world was launched by Denmark. No, it was by Bahamas. In 2020 itself, they launched. Bahamas launched. It's Bahamas. B-H-A-M-A-S. Bahamas. It's Bahamas. They promote financial inclusion in an economy by bringing unbanked into the financial system. Very easy. So 1, 2 and 4. 3 eliminated. Wherever 3 is there, remove it. 1, 2 and 4. C. With reference to solar panels, consider the following statements. Solar panels placed in the cold areas are less efficient in producing electricity than those in hot regions. No. Now, this was an scientific research. Now, they have found out in Hong Kong, researchers have found out solar panels need only light. They doesn't need heat. So, when they are in heat, actually solar panel loses its efficiency. Rather than placing in somewhere in Rajasthan or Thar desert, if you are placing it in Ladakh, where the sunlight is directly hitting on the surface, even it is a cold place, but their efficiency is high. So first statement, in cold areas, they are not less efficient, they are more efficient because they require only light, not heat. So here, more efficient. So first statement is wrong. They use only light to produce electricity. Light is enough for producing electricity. So second statement is correct. They are asking for correct statement. So B, 2 only. Correct statement, right? Yeah. Recently, T.K. Vishwanathan committee was constituted. This committee was constituted for which among the following purpose? To address the concerns of northeastern people living in various parts of India. No, not like this. This was related to some base Barua committee. To propose new laws and amendments to deal with the hate speech on internet. This is related to hate speech on internet. 66A of IT Act, which was removed, repealed. Regarding that only, T.K. Vishwanathan committee was also formed, and cases are, after the law being repealed, after 5 years, still they are filing the cases. For those aspects, they told go and see what's happening on this. So they have formed this committee. To examine sustainable economy measures in textile industry, to examine the changes brought out in J&K. No. So it's related to hate speech. Let's move on to the next question. Consider the following statements. Velu Nachiyar was the first Indian woman ruler to fight against the colonial forces. It was not Velu Nachiyar. It was this lady, Ambaka Chota, Goa region. There was a Ambaka kingdom. She was the first Indian lady, Indian woman ruler to fight against colonial forces. And Velu Nachiyar was the queen of Sivagangai and was involved in the first ever instance of suicide bombing in India. So, both the statements are changed. This has to come here and this has to come here. Because presently, Prime Minister Modi ji has honored Velu Nachiyar's recognition in his speech. So, PIB, there was a notification on it. So, try to remember this. Who is Velu Nachiyar in Tamil Nadu, which kingdom, what she did. Just go a backdrop on that. So, answer is neither 1 nor 2. They are asking for correct statements. Both are wrong. Both has to be interchanged. 86. In context to chalk streams, consider the following statements. These streams occur only where chalk bedrock meets the earth's surface, making them globally rare. Yes, correct. These streams are locally known as winter bones. Correct. They are called winter bones. The majority of the world's precious and unique chalk streams are found in England. This was in Science and Tech, that issue. It was there that chalk streams, what are the benefits? They have such a high amount of nutrition when it comes. Usually in England, we can see this type of chalk bed streams. They are having the largest chalk streams in the world. So on that aspect, this has been that if you are seeing the images, it will be very beautiful. So they have taken on that aspect. So all the 3 statements are correct. 87. Which among the following committees was instituted for the purpose of Maharashtra-Karnataka border dispute? This is related to Belagavi district. Whether it is related to that speaking population, they speak Marathi, but they belong to Karnataka, and it was a huge issue. And committee, Besbar was related to northeastern people. Nagmohan committee, no, Nagamohan committee. It is Mahajan committee. It is Mahajan committee is related to Maharashtra-Karnataka border dispute. regarding Belgavi district. Just keep a note, it was in news. Consider the following statements about the term liquidity. Liquidity is the ability of a company or a bank to meet its long-term debts and financial obligations. Solvency, it's not, solvency is the ability, solvency is the ability of a company or a bank to meet long-term. Liquidity is how quick it can be monetized. So, this is first statement is wrong. The most liquid asset of all is the cash because it can be converted into other assets easily. Correct? Statutory liquidity ratio is a minimum percentage of deposits that a commercial bank has to maintain in terms of liquid cash. It's not necessary, it has to maintain in statutory liquidity ratio is a minimum percentage of deposits that a commercial bank has to maintain in form of liquid cash, not necessarily in cash. If they have asked cash only, then it is a issue. Minimum percentage of deposits that a commercial bank has to maintain in form of liquid cash. As such, the statement is correct. If it would have been cash, minimum percentage in cash, but if it comes only, then the statement is wrong. But as such, some minimum percentage in liquid cash. So, this statement is correct. 2 and 3 are correct. So, don't think that SLR is a minimum percentage of deposits that a commercial bank has to maintain in form of liquid cash. It is liquid cash, then treasury deposits and these things come. Apart, if it is only, then it is a problem. It is no issue. This is perfect. Which of the following statement is or are not correct about the biomining? It is the process of using microorganisms to extract metals of economic interest from rock ores or mine waste. Correct? Biomining is using microorganisms for mining. Biomining technique is also used to clean up sites that have been polluted with metals. Yes. Both the statements are correct. They are asking not correct. So, neither 1 nor 2. Consider the following statements regarding whale shark. It is the world's largest fish and are categorized as endangered species by the IUCN. Don't worry, here they have made it correct. Endangered, yes, and it is the world's largest fish. It has been recently, the dead fish has been found near the coast of Visakhapatnam. So, it was found in news, in that front page clip it was there, so they have placed it. It dwells in cold climate and generally populate the temperate oceans in the world. No, we belong to a tropic area and mostly they are found in tropic areas. So, this statement is wrong. Gujarat has the maximum density of whale shark population in Indo-Pacific. This itself we can say that it highly found in tropic regions. So, second statement is wrong. First and third are correct. So, correct statements 1 and 3 only. Which of the following committees is associated with economically weaker sections? Ajay Bhushan Pandey committee. Yeah, this is the correct answer. Because they were trying to reframe the criteria regarding that 200 yash of house property within notified municipalities. These other provisions, apart from that 8 lakh and 5 acres of land, apart from this, there were other provisions, right? 200 yards in notified municipalities. These things, these issues, they are trying this. Ajay Bhushan Pandey committee was looking whether to have or not. So, it is related to economical weaker sections. So, A is the correct answer. 92. In context to Western disturbances, consider the following statements. They originate in the Mediterranean region and brings rain to the northern part of India. That's why we can see during this time. So, first statement is correct. The term disturbance means an area witnessing rise in air pressure. No, it's not rise in air pressure. It reduce the air pressure. So, second statement is wrong. These disturbances originate outside the tropical region and are associated with rainfall, snowfall and fog. Correct. The 1 and 3 are correct. 1 and 3 correct answer. Yeah, 3 only. Check whether correct or incorrect. So, 1 and 3. 93. The term aquamation recently in news is associated with which of the following? It is a scheme launched to clean water bodies for the marine ecosystem. No. an alternative mechanism to traditional cremation methods of a deceased person. This is correct. A Nobel Prize winner, when he expired recently, they did aquamation. They insert the body for a particular hours inside a particular solution, so that the body is already in a disabled state. Then it goes for in the water they leave it, and that it stimulates a catalyst action, and body gets dissolved. And they are saying this is pro-climate action, because when you burn a body, or that is through cremation, when you burn a body, there will be a smoke and other side effects, that is you are polluting. But through aquamation there is zero pollution, they say. There is no pollution, can't say zero pollution, the pollution is reduced. So it has been in news. So it's an alternative mechanism to traditional cremation methods of a deceased person. B is the correct answer. Consider the following statements about various mountain passes. Zojilla is the highest mountain pass in Himalayas, located in the Indian Union Territory of Ladakh. Yes, Zojilla. Just note where is Zojilla in your map and keep it. It's in Ladakh. Jalapla Pass connects India with Tibet. Yes, correct. And it is present in the state of it is present in the state of Sikkim. Jalapla is in Sikkim. So second statement is wrong. Khyber Pass connects India with Afghanistan via Pakistan. No, it is between Pakistan and Afghanistan. India is nowhere related to Khyber Pass. Choose the correct answer using the codes given below. One only. D. In context to Unnat Jyoti by affordable LEDs for all Ujala scheme, consider the following statements. Energy Efficiency Services Limited has been designated as the implementing agency for this program. Correct. No issues. EESL is a implementing agency. It's a public sector enterprise. The light emitting diode consumes only 1/10 of the energy used by ordinary bulbs. That's why we use it. So both the statements are correct. It's only 1/10. 1/10 is correct. The main objective of the scheme is to provide electricity connections to unelectrified houses. This is not related to the scheme. This is nowhere related. It's just a promotion to us. The scheme promotes us to use LED based lighting facilities. So third statement is wrong. 1 and 2 is correct. So option is B. With reference to the issue of shelf life of a vaccine that has been debated in news recently, consider the following statements. The expiry date of vaccines does not affect the safety of the vaccine. Rather, it affects the potency. This is a correct statement. It doesn't affect the health, but virulency, how good it can act, only that part is being affected by expiry date of vaccines. Present COVID vaccines, Covaxin was into this issue. So they were saying that by extending the expiry date, if it has crossed, only the virulency will be affected, not the safety. So first statement is correct. Stability test determine vaccines shelf life and storage conditions. This is a test conducted by health organizations, World Health and drug control organizations. They check for that stability test. How many months they keep in a storage facility, they keep in different temperature level, keep in cold climates, keep in extreme hot climates, and they check the stability of the particular vaccine. So stability test is to determine vaccine's shelf life based upon temperature, region, so these things. So both the statements as such it is correct. They are asking for correct statements. 97. Read the following statements regarding Public Finance Management System, PFMS, carefully. This statement is administered by the Ministry of Electronics and IT. No. This is not by Ministry of Electronics and IT. This is Controller General of Accounts, CGA. So not CAG, Controller General of Accounts. First statement is wrong. The main objective of this system is to facilitate sound financial management for Government of India. That is correct. So answer is B2 only. They are asking for correct statement. The term eDNA recently in news corresponds to which of the following statements? The airborne DNA of animal that are shed through their breath, saliva, fur into the environment is called eDNA. This is correct. This is correct. So don't have any doubt in this. Tracking animals through eDNA is a new innovative idea, can be used to potentially identify and monitor terrestrial elements. This is tracking through eDNA is a idea, but it is not a new innovative idea. Already they have, it has been in practice to determine the variation of aquatic species through their saliva, breath, these things through their saliva only in water species, that is aquatic species. They take their samples, how much, what is the population, where it is moving, and if any invasive species have come, it is all through eDNA. It is not a new innovative idea. So tracking is done, but it's not a new innovative idea. Which of the statements are correct? One only. In context to Non-Proliferation Treaty, NPT, often in news, on nuclear weapons, consider the following statements. This treaty is a legally binding instrument on member nations of nuclear disarmament. Yes, it's a legally binding. This is correct. Just know whether it is legally binding or non-binding. It is a legally binding statement. This you have to make note. Just make point on that. The NPT mandates complete ban on nuclear weapon and nuclear technology on member nations. Complete ban. This is not going to happen because that is what the issue. Why India doesn't join no tangible date on banning of these weapons or technology. So, second statement is wrong. India and Pakistan are among the signatory members of this treaty. No. India, Pakistan, North Korea are not, Israel, they are all not members. So, third statement is wrong. Correct statement using the codes given below. One only. So, 2 and 3 are wrong. Yes, one only. Let's move on we have come to the last question. Read the following statements about the World Trade Organization carefully. It is the only global international organization dealing with rules of trade between nations. Only. Don't worry. This is correct. Trade between nations. International. First statement is correct. The WTO cannot cut the cost of doing business internationally. It can cut. It is not cannot cut. It can cut. For that only the WTO functions for cutting the cost of the food prices or trade organizations. They have various amber boxes. It's all related to ease of doing business. They try to facilitate business. They can cut the cost. So, second statement is wrong. It recognizes LDC, least development countries, on the basis of UN-based criteria. United Nations criteria only, they recognize the least development countries. First and third statement is correct. Cannot cut. It can cut. That is the can cut. So that ease of doing business is done. Which of the statements above is correct? 1 and 3. Done. Finally, all the 100 questions have been done. Just try to revise, and there were many schemes in the paper. Try to make which scheme is related to which ministry and it's for what's the purpose. Don't want to go too much layering. All the best. Revise well for your exams. Exams are nearing. Do well. Thank you.